Hey, Luke, very good to see you. I feel like we all need a little bit of good news. So that's our topic of today. We all feel terrible about the economy, but there actually is some good news that comes with it. Americans actually have never even felt this bad about the economy. The University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index, take a look at this, cratered recently from 58.4 to 50.2. That's the lowest level since data collection began in the 70s. I know you're hearing from clients who are concerned. So what's contributing to our pessimism?
Yeah, so it's been obviously a conflation of issues, kind of the
Right.
combination of what's been going on in the stock market, that was started with the Russia-Ukraine situation, followed by the initial inflation reports, and then now Fed hiking interest rates. All of those things working together, along with some different consumer reports, have sent the market into a bit of a tailspin. Inflation has been hitting families probably the hardest. And so that's why we're seeing with that University of Michigan study record lows for consumer sentiment.
Yeah, we're feeling it from all angles. So you would think that low consumer sentiment would contribute to poor stock market returns, but sentiment is actually a contrary indicator. What does that mean?
Yeah, so there's an old, you always kind of hear zig when others are zagging, or Warren Buffett had an old quote about be cautious when others are being greedy, be greedy when others are being cautious. Historically, uh, with these consumer sentiment reports, when they hit new lows, that's generally followed by some sort of positive market return. Now, history is not an indicator of what can happen in the future. Does it necessarily mean that we've hit the bottom? No, but generally in the year or so following, we can see positive returns.
Right. And I'm glad you brought that up because I really want to drill down into the data because this does help us feel better when we can take a closer look at history. So just to remind everybody, you at Eikenberry, you are supported by a team of investment experts. That includes Brookstone CIO, Mark Diorio, who crunched 50 years of data. What are we looking at here, Luke?
Yeah, leave it to Mark to crunch the data.
Yeah.
We always love to do that. But what we're looking at here would be essentially over the past 50 years, every time that we've hit a trough or a low point in consumer sentiment, the average return for the next 12 months would be a positive 24.9%
Right.
for the S&P 500. So this is exactly what we're talking about, that contrary indicator of consumer sentiment hits a low, behavioral finance, it's always when we hit that low point, that's when the positives are soon to follow. So it
Right.
becomes more and more important. And I know we talk about this all the time in the market versus timing the market.
Right.
If anyone's saying that they're always buying the low and selling the high, chances are they're pulling your leg. The biggest thing is staying focused on what your long-term goal is and staying the course.
Right. And again, just to look at the data to make us feel better and understand why we're not investing emotionally. If you take a look at a $10,000 investment over a 15-year period, if you're pulling your money out and trying to time it, you are often missing the best days. And just by missing the 10 best days, Luke, it's amazing what happens.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you don't want to generally have an either all in or an all out type of strategy. So what the chart is looking at here would be if you're staying invested, you're going to come out far ahead of people that are pulling and putting back in when it comes to the market, because generally when we hit these market lows, you can have very positive trading days coming out of that. If you are missing those first initial positive days as the market rebounds, you just can't make up the difference. And so it's ultimately the most important piece would be when you get those 10 very good days in a market recovery that you have money in at that point in order to
Mhm.
take advantage of that.
Well said. Although it is always hard not to act like a human because we are human beings. So if somebody has questions and they want to talk through what we're going through right now, which is very scary, what's the best way to reach you?
Yeah, ultimately, it's there's a peace of mind aspect of this too. So there are other things that you can build in, obviously, and that's something that we've been discussing a lot with our clients here in
Right.
recent days and weeks. So as always, if they need to get a hold of us, you can reach us by phone at 937-498-1128, or you can schedule an appointment on our website, www.eikenberryretirement.com. There is a schedule an appointment link there on our homepage, and you can feel free to set up a time that works for you and works for us.
Right. It was really helpful to speak with you. Luke, thank you.
Thanks, Erin.